Steady D. If it ain't going down at the Bunny Ranch, it ain't going down at all.
It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down, going down, going down, going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch.
I came here to have fun.
I mean, we all came here to have fun, right? Isn't that why you...
Seriously, from the day we were born.
Really?
True.
Welcome back to the BunnyRanch Podcast. I'm James, and today we're here with someone from Sagebrush Ranch. And yes, I started it already to catch that little fun tidbit that she didn't know about. So
Right.
This is someone who is kind of like really mysterious but cool. Probably one of the most hilarious and fun. And when I say hilarious, I mean I was laughing because we were just joking around when we did her video shoot. But Miss Torrey Lisa from Sagebrush Ranch.
Hi, everyone. So good to be here.
Yeah, welcome onto the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
So now, Tori, some of these people might not know you, right? I mean, it's a good chance this is around the world, around the country, hey, even around the backyard. Or in the backyard, upside down, under the couch, on the kitchen couch. Oh, anyways, back to the show. Who are you and why did you come to here? Like, why did you show up at Sagebrush?
That's a great question. So a lot of people don't realize that Torrey Lisa is actually my real name.
Really?
I came here to live my truth and to provide space where people can feel safe in living their truth, where they can be their fullest expression of themselves. And in doing so, I get to be that conduit by being the most fullest expression of myself.
Okay.
I am in multiple lifestyle circles in real life. And it started a few years ago in a journey of exploration of who am I? So that's a really great question because I spent the last few years really digging deep to find out who I am. And I'm a lot of things, as we all are. But one of the lifestyle circles that I was introduced to was ethical non-monogamy, which actually I do have a history of it going back like 17 years. But I was exploring more of the polyamory side of ethical non-monogamy. I used to be a swinger, but then I went into more of the bonded type dynamics. And the reason why is I discovered that I'm what's called a demisexual. So I require an actual connection with somebody before intimacy is really explored in a more powerful way. Okay.
I
like
can
actual connections. I thrive off of actual connections. So for like 18 months, I was part of a throuple. I love being able to express myself sensually, sexually. I became very public about my process of moving through the polyamory lifestyle and so on. I also am very open about the fact that I'm pansexual. A lot of people will recognize the word bisexual. I love men and women, so that's why the throuple worked really well for me. I had a girlfriend and a boyfriend, but they were also girlfriend and boyfriend. So we were all one big unit. So then I managed to find my way through the BDSM world. And so one of my partners, one of my primary partners outside of the throuple was a dom. And so I started exploring being a submissive. And going to dungeon parties, learning everything I could about kink and fetish and so on. And the thing is we all have a kink, whether we're willing to admit it or not. And the kink doesn't mean that it's wrong. Kinks are naturally wired in us. So I moved through those circles. And again, I'm very public about what I do. I don't hide any aspect of it. I don't have a reason to hide things that society says you should be ashamed of or that you should feel guilty about. Like sexual oppression is already bad enough. But to be able to have space to explore kinks and fetishes and so on in a way that's safe, sane, and consensual. That's the other thing. So I gained a lot of experience, and one thing led to another, and I am now what I identify as, people may understand this term, switch. So I can be dominant or submissive. I can be a top or a bottom. I can be a sadist or a masochist, but under all of that, under every last bit of that, I am a nurturer. I am a caregiver. I am very tender. I'm actually very intuitive. I love to make authentic connections. So when somebody comes here, I actually connect with them in some way, shape, or form. A lot of people think that people who come to the ranches, they come in and they pick a girl, and that girl is somehow obligated to have a party. And the thing is we aren't obligated. We get to pick and choose the clients
Correct.
that we play with and party with. So for me, I am pretty efficient in making a connection. It doesn't take 30 minutes of talking in order to establish one, but I make an actual connection with somebody. I meet them where they are, and then if it's not aligned for me or if the vibe isn't right, I will politely, endorse them, maybe talking to another girl. So I pick and choose who I spend my time with.
Makes
and
sense.
so each of the people that come in get an authentic experience while they are with me, whether it's with a girlfriend experience, because I am tender, I am very gentle. Human touch is very important, which in, say, BDSM, sensory play is very popular with me. It's something I specialize in.
Can you explain that a little bit? I know a little bit, but I don't know if all of our audience might not sensory play. Like
Absolutely.
what is that?
So sensory play is a way to awaken the senses by either enhancing them or by removing them. So for instance, I use a bunch of different toys, as they're called. I've got different types of fun things to play with. What I do is, an example would be, in order to enhance someone's sense of hearing, they tune in more to it if you take away their sense of sight. So if you blindfold someone, they're going to tune into their hearing a lot more because you've removed one of their senses.
Yeah. Like sensory deprivation tanks.
Correct.
Those kind of things.
Correct. And for me, as someone who is introducing somebody to kink, BDSM, and so on, they want to go into it, but they're not sure how or what to start with. I usually start with sensory play. And the reason why is because it allows the person to get in tune with themselves. They have to be in tune with themselves and feel very grounded and safe. And it's a trust building process. So I will use things that are not going to hurt you. A lot of people think that BDSM is just, pain and power, and it's not. It's about an energetic exchange. It's about a sharing of pleasure, of giving and taking, receiving and serving. It's a lot of different things, but it's this beautiful symphony between two humans. And what I do is I start with that sensory play. It doesn't mean that they're going to not have control of their experience. In fact, I am huge on communication, whether it's a threesome, whether it's a BDSM scene, everything is negotiated up front. And I always encourage a flow of communication from them to me and me to them. So I'll check in. Of course, we have safe words and all that stuff. I mean, this is, legitimate professional services being rendered.
Yeah.
And all of that is discussed up front. But the thing is a lot of people think that somebody who is submissive, even if they are, let's say, restrained, or they have a ball gag in their mouth and they can't talk, there's always a safe word or a process to communicate. So if, say, a ball gag is involved, they can tap me 3 times and that ends the scene. They always have full control over their experience.
Yeah.
And I honor that. It's not about powering over somebody or causing them pain or removing their power. They literally, a submissive is actually the one in full control of any scene with a dom. And the dom is actually in service to the sub. So there's a lot of misconceptions out there. And so what I do is introduce someone safely with a lot of communication. I do it with, I am in service to them, and I will always make sure that their experience is pleasurable, but they're also getting in tune with themselves, which allows them to have more enhanced experiences. It's very important to do, to like really be in tune with yourself and to feel comfortable in your skin. And by waking up the skin in ways that never involve pain, it's fun. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean,
Physical touch is very, very important for humans. And having different ways of being touched, sensory play is the way to go.
Interesting. Okay. That's definitely the most interesting, like, who are you kind of topic right there.
Yes. And the thing is,
I mean, that actually is really good. I've never had someone actually go in that depth, so that's amazing.
You know, I like to go deep.
Don't we all? We'd like to get it deep. I mean, what? Wow. Yeah. You got me at a loss for words right there. Jesus.
I take this very seriously. Like, I'm not here because I had to. A lot of people think, oh, somebody who works at a brothel must be the end of the road for them, or they don't have skill sets to fall back on. No, I brought skill sets here.
Yeah.
I brought them here to create opportunities for people who don't otherwise have access to it.
Correct.
And to me, it's important that I have good human connections and that I provide experiences that people might just dream about or crave and not even realize it.
Yeah, I mean, that is the biggest thing, right? People don't realize that what we do here, allows others to explore different sexual activities or to relieve some kind of stress or anxiety or anything like that.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, anyone who's listening or watching, obviously she's very well educated and very well spoken.
Thank you.
Because generally, not a lot of people can, catch me speechless at that point. Or, I mean, maybe I'm interested in all the crazy sensory deprivation and.
Well, that's just one example. I mean, I
don't mean crazy in a bad way, guys. There are things that, yes, we all have those kinks, and we all have those fun things. We all like that stuff.
I'm driven by curiosity.
Yeah.
And I encourage people to be driven by their own curiosity. And I want them to find the space here. When you go on tour with me and you get to see my room, you're going to see my personality there. You're going to see that I have a lot of depth to me. I'm, a professional model and a burlesque performer. I have been in the porn industry with a specific studio. And I've also, done the BDSM and so on. So, I take this very seriously because it's a natural extension of myself. So why would I not naturally create the space and sanctuary for people to be their fullest expression of themselves? Because so many times we move through this world feeling shame for having this urge or this need.
Yeah.
And to verbalize it means that you may actually be ostracized or shunned or rejected and so on. And I'm about creating acceptance and sanctuary and safe havens for people to just be themselves and not feel like they're being judged. I am about kink positivity, body positivity, sex positivity, gender positivity. You can come exactly as you are and feel accepted, and I will honor that and meet you where you are, and then be that conduit for you to kind of open up a little bit more and to kind of unleash a little bit more of who you really are inside. Because I had the privilege and the honor to be able to do that for myself, and I want to be able to pass that baton on and say, hey, I see you. I understand what you're going through. And so for me, I'm about acceptance. So yeah, it's something I enjoy doing, and it's a privilege to be here to do it.
No.
And it feels like everything I did in my life came to this point to like do this thing. I am college educated. I can move in some of the most sophisticated circles. You can take me out, fine dining and so on. But at the end of the day, I just want people to feel like they are accepted and that they can move through the world in a way that they're seen, heard, understood.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm a nurturer. People think, oh, God, I'm scared of her. No, actually, I'm the least scary person in the room.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm only the other person in the room, so. Jeez,
Yeah, we got to look out for you, James.
yeah, clearly. So, going back a little bit, though, you said you do burlesque.
Yes.
So, what's that like? Like, because obviously it's a little different than this right now, a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah, for sure.
But what is that like? Like, what do you, like, how does that work in, like everything else?
So I made a promise to myself that when I saw something or experienced something that lit me up, I would go that direction. And I went to my first burlesque show in September of 2020. Yeah, September 2020.
Okay.
And I was so blown away. I mean, I'd seen, on TV, I knew what burlesque was. But I went to see a friend perform, and I was so blown away. It's about body positivity, being able to express yourself. It's very creative. I'm a creative person. I'm a writer.
Yeah.
I'm very artistic and so on. So being able to see these people feeling free on stage and taking their clothes off and having money thrown at them in the process just lit me up. And I was like, I have got to do this.
Yeah.
So I went through the academy, through the troupe, the largest super troupe at the time in Colorado, where I'm from. And I graduated. Despite COVID quarantines and so on, I was able to graduate in January of 2021. I have performed in many different venues. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I get to go out there and show the world that regardless of my age, regardless of my body type, regardless of any of that, which in many ways society sees as a barrier or as a downside.
Yeah.
I get to go out there and show the world that you are freaking beautiful and you can express yourself. And it's a very powerful and moving experience for me, and I just love being on stage. I am an exhibitionist. I won't lie. I'm an exhibitionist. And so to me, it's a fun way to express myself and then go home with, iron out some dollar bills that get thrown at you while you're up there. I don't do it for the money, though, but it is kind of fun to have stripper money. Especially,
Yeah.
when you're doing it for fun.
Yeah, when you're doing it for fun. No,
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah. So burlesque has been fun. If it's not fun, I don't do it.
Okay.
That was another promise I made to myself. If it's not fun, if I'm not having fun, I'm not going to do it. So let's say somebody comes in and parties with me. I don't fake anything. Like, I don't fake orgasms. If it's not fun, I make it fun. I will introduce, hey, let's do this thing, or hey, have you ever done that? Or a lot of times I'll ask people, what are some fantasies you've always wanted to do? What can I do to help you with that?
So
It may not be today, but it might be another day.
Yeah.
But let's explore what's fun for you or what you think might be fun.
So going on that fantasy side, though, what's the most fun fantasy you got to actually explore, while you've been here?
You do realize that
We can't go into detail,
Yeah.
any real detail. Just I'm not asking
I guess
just
what
a basic.
I'm going to go back on the whole thing that I brought experiences here. Like, I have done some crazy stuff. before I even came here.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm very comfortable with these scenarios here.
Yeah.
I love when couples come in.
Okay.
When I first got here, because I was polyamorous and so on, couples don't come in very often, but when they do, only certain girls specialize in that, myself included.
Right.
And the first couple of weeks I was here, I told the girls, I was like, girls, listen, if you book with a couple, please pull me in. Or, hey, if you book with, if you've got a regular that wants to do a threesome, pull me in on that party because I'm dying here. It's a typical Tuesday for me to have a threesome, and I've been here for 2 weeks and haven't had one yet. So I actually was craving some of the experiences that were like normal back home. And I'm like, I didn't want, and I'm like on the message boards, hey, guys, seriously, come have a threesome. Let's have a 2-girl party. It's fun. It's like, I know what I'm doing. You're not going to have something backfire if it's the first time you and your spouse or your partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. I'm literally creating a container for you guys to walk away with a positive experience, and I'm having fun. So wild and crazy. I mean, let's see. I recently had, I'm kind of small. I'm curvy, but I'm petite. So like my feet don't even touch the ground here. So I had a party recently, and understand that I keep everybody's, identity confidential, but like
Correct.
This guy came in, he's like 6'5", and it was a pegging party.
Oh, shit.
I was doing the pegging, obviously.
Well, yeah.
And so it was kind of a logistics thing because of the height difference. Now, I used to date a guy that was 7 feet tall. He was a basketball player and so on. So it wasn't like my first foray into little me and big them, okay? But he came in, and luckily I had the foresight, based on real life experiences. I had bought some furniture for my room that allowed me to have a little extra height and leverage and so on. I was like, I knew that ottoman was going to be come in handy. I knew I was going to need it. And boom, there I was, going to town. And he had this amazing experience. And it was his first time doing pegging. So again, I'm like really good for people who are brand new to something.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm not going to start time until we are actually, in this, but I need to like work out the height logistics here. I need to see like how we are going to arrange this. And so, yes. And once we got that figured out, because it can be awkward trying to figure out positions and height differences and so on. I kind of think about that ahead of time. I'm a strategist.
Yeah.
I think ahead of time. I'm a big picture thinker.
So for those at home, give a very basic, and when I mean basic, really basic definition of what pegging is. Because that's a little, for a lot of audiences, Absolutely. It can be a little much to explain, or to like understand, but just a basic understanding.
To educate.
Yeah.
In its most basic form, someone, AKA me, let's in this example, has what's called a strap-on. And the strap-on can come in different forms. It could be in the form of a harness. It could be in the form of like clothing, like panties. And it has an attachment area where you can put accessories on. So like a dildo or something would be attached to the harness or the clothing article. And then I would be the one doing the penetration with that toy.
Interesting.
In however they want to receive it.
Okay. We'll leave that up for the imagination at that point. Jeez. So definitely, guys, if you make sure to come see her for that kind of stuff.
And it's men, women. It could be any variation. It's fun. It actually is fun. And it's really great for people who may need special accommodations. Maybe they have ED.
Okay.
Maybe they are not able to perform for themselves, but it's one way they can perform and to please and so on. So I receive pegging as well. And so, there's that. Like, it's not just me doing everything. It's also about that exchange, the giving and receiving, the reciprocation, the law of reciprocity. Both having fun.
Hey, as long as you're having fun. So for someone just starting out in BDSM, kink in general, right? You said sensory is a good one to start with.
It's one I like to start.
Make sure you guys are keeping, writing notes. What would be your second choice? I'm sorry if we already discussed your second choice. I don't think we did.
I don't think no.
But what would be give me your give me your top 5 of what you would want to introduce someone brand new to it. On first appointment, obviously sensory, right? Second, maybe something else.
Well, I have to back up a little bit. I want to know what's motivating them. Say, for instance, we have a lot of high-powered people who are so responsible for everything and everyone all day long. They're running businesses and corporations and they're in charge all the time, and they just want to let go and not have to be in charge and have somebody else be in charge. So I generally do an intake to find out what is motivating you to be here to do this thing. Do you need to surrender? Do you need to learn how to trust somebody again? Because BDSM can have a healing element. You can learn how to surrender and to trust and to allow and to receive. And for someone who is a perpetual giver, or someone who's constantly taking care of everyone, to be taken care of is such a wonderful, sweet space to be in, and to know that you're safe in that space. So I want to find out, do you need to let go? Do you need to surrender? Are you being more of a submissive, or are you needing to feel like you need to be in charge of something for once in your life? Have you been stripped of your ability to be in charge or to make decisions or to have power and so on? So I'm trying to feed what's missing, and I have to identify where you are in that spectrum. And because I'm a switch, I understand both. Okay. And I can even in the moment switch. I can hold domination space or top space at the same time as holding submissive space. So in a threesome, I can have a dom dominating me and me being submissive to that dom, but then also me dominating, say, a slave dynamic. Okay. Or the bottom. Okay, so the bottom. The bottom. So a second thing that I would love to do is to help somebody explore what is it that they really, really need to feed. And then any BDSM scene is negotiated down to every detail. So negotiations do take a little bit longer, but I'm from a consent culture. Everything is done by consent. Everything is done with your consent and the ability to revoke consent at any given moment for any reason. So I would love to have somebody come in who's in charge all the time and is just exhausted from it, to learn how to maybe trust again, or to maybe do a little bit of bondage. I have a 6-point harness on my bed that most people don't know is there. You walk into my room and you can see my modeling pictures. You can see some of the kink and fetish stuff, although it's not prominent. It's speckled throughout my room. And sometimes people come in and they've never been exposed to that world, and they immediately get afraid, and they're like, oh God, you're not going to do that to me, are you? And it's no, this is just a skill set I offer. It's not a requirement, and it's not going to happen to you unless, I'm not going to do anything you don't want me to do, and I'm certainly not going to do it unless you pay me to do it, that kind of thing. So it's having people maybe understand BDSM a little bit more by exploring it. But for me, putting somebody who is burnt out by the demands of life, being able to come in and just let go for a minute. And to know that they're in good hands and that they still have control over everything, whether it be the safe word or just saying, no, that doesn't feel good for me, and let's do something different. I've changed my mind. You can do that. So being able to maybe escalate it a little bit higher into more trustworthy type situations. Of course, I love to have my ass smacked and, pull my hair. Like, I love receiving.
I mean, who does?
that.
I mean,
Like,
who doesn't
come
like that? I
on.
mean, a little bit of ass smacking. I mean, hey, it's been a while. But
So yeah, it's like I can shift very
Yeah.
quickly, but it's all discussed and negotiated ahead of time. So yeah, but I'm a great girlfriend experience outdate. Like, I can have conversations with depth. I know which silverware to use and fine dining. Like, I've got a lot to offer, but sometimes people can't get past that BDSM thing, and they don't realize it's not what you see on TV.
So, anyone, if you're thinking about that, definitely make sure you do email her or jump on our message board. The links will be scattered throughout
I don't
this
kink
show.
shame.
And it will also be in the descriptions. So,
Yeah, so the sex menu, you can see a lot of
Yep.
the things that I offer, which pretty much is everything. But again, it's experience. It's not because I'm just wanting to book somebody because that's what they want to do. It's literally what I do
yeah.
and what I'm good at and what I want to teach or to create opportunities for people who have curious about it. Or if you're a seasoned BDSM person, come on in. You're going to meet your match. It's like you're going to be able to see somebody who's like, got you, A lot of times you don't have alignment because one person is highly skilled and the other person isn't. I will meet you where you are and kind of bring you in so that you walk away feeling empowered, that you feel more confident. So important to create that confidence in people's experiences, which translates into confidence in their own body and their own how they move through the world. And so I don't kink shame. So like if you have questions, happy to answer them. As long as it's an allowed conversation. Like, wait, I can't talk prices or anything like that.
Yeah,
you
no.
have to come down and see me. It is a specialty party, but at the same time, it's like I can create economical options to kind of explore it and kind of stair-step your way in so that you can plan ahead and so on. But I love to create opportunities for people who are curious. Curiosity is such an amazing energy, and I think that it's what propels us through life, and I want to help you explore those curiosities.
Well, definitely, guys, make sure you do that. Tori, we're getting close to the end.
No.
Yeah, I know.
I want to
right?
keep talking about that.
I know. So, if someone really wants to get in touch with you,
Yes.
what would be the best route to do that?
Okay, so if you go to the sagebrushranch.com website, I am listed on the website as Torrey Lisa. You can find me across all social media as Torrey Lisa. You get to see, my adventures and so on, but you can find me on my work Twitter, which is my Sagebrush Twitter. It is Torrey Lisa SBR. You can email me. There's a button on the website where you can just click to email, but I'm Torrey Lisa at sagebrushranch.com. And I am happy to receive your emails, your questions, things you might be curious about, things that you might be concerned about, anything like that. I don't kink shame. I'm very accepting. I won't yuck anybody's yum, anything like that is what we call it. So yeah, I would love to talk to you and to give you whatever information I can legally give you about how to spend time with me to explore those things. And at the same time, it's like I'm pretty lighthearted and fun. It's not so serious. Oh my gosh. If you go on Twitter today, you're going to see I am the queen of innuendo. I'm not just an oral queen, but I'm I love, to play around, joke around with innuendo. And so the dude, El Duderino, and I were putting together my spinner wheel, which I have in my room. If somebody books an hour, they get to spin my wheel. So we were putting that together the other day. It's I like to have fun. I'm lighthearted and silly and so on, but I can be serious when I need to be, but I am shitload of fun when you just need to like cut up and laugh and just let loose.
Yeah.
But you're always safe with me.
Well, you guys and girls out there, make sure if you're not following us on Twitter, at BunnyRanch, at Sagebrush Ranch, at Kit Kat Brothel. You can also find us on Facebook. You can find us on our websites. But if you're listening to this podcast, whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, all these other things, or if you're watching us on YouTube, which you're watching the video portion, and if you're not watching on YouTube, definitely take a look at it. YouTube.com/BunnyRanch Network. That way you can see the beautiful Torrey Lisa.
Thank you, darling.
Make sure you do subscribe, like, comment, subscribe,
and you know
all
what?
those crazy
Share
things.
that stuff.
Yep,
Like
share it
literally
everywhere.
Share it.
We've been trending top 100 on
comment.
Apple Podcasts, so.
Comment. We love comments.
Yep, definitely.
You know, like your feedback or your questions. Like, it's always best to like private questions. Of course, you can email me privately or message me privately, but comment, like, share, follow, do all those things.
And if you have any questions that you want to ask any of the ladies as well, or if you have questions that you want to see asked in a later episode, which can happen, you can reach me at james@bunnyranch.com, which is my work email, so you can easily get a hold of me there. All of it is listed right on the screens and in the description. Again, thank you guys so much for making season 2 of the Bunny Ranch podcast amazing. Thank you, Tori, for being here today.
Thank you for having me here, and thank you for allowing me to spend time with you as well. I mean, you made me part of your day, and it's an honor and privilege, so thank you. Appreciate you.
Have a good day, guys. Bye.